Hey, we are back for another edition of The Shift. This is Catherine Trotter, aka CT Speaks. We are back once again as we are winding down the month of November. This is the last Tuesday in the month, and December 1st is this Friday. Listen, we are about to embark on the last month of the year, So tonight, we're going to be talking about how to have a different posture. We have to shift some things in how we posture ourselves in every area of our life. And so when I was looking up the definition of posture and just kind of doing some research around posture itself, some questions I found online is what defines how you walk in this world? That's one of the questions that stood out. And then another question was, and what is your posture in life? So what defines your posture in this world? And what is your posture? And so we have to sometimes analyze and do a checkup on how we are showing up for ourselves, how we're showing up for others, how we're showing up in the world, how we're showing up in our workplace, how we're showing up in our business, how we're showing up in the family, how we're showing up in our friendship circles. How are we showing up? What is our posture like? And sometimes we have to take an inventory of ourselves. It's not the other individual. It is us. And so I think December is the perfect time to do a posture check. I'm doing a posture check on myself, and I think it would check on themselves as well, because we're entering into a phase in our life where we want to see different in our life. So if we want to see different in our life, we have to do different, right? So tonight's topic is all about having a different posture or creating a different posture in our walk, in our talk, in our actions. And I know I am still growing. I am still evolving. I am not batting it at 100 every single day, but I'm striving to be better every single day. And that's all we can do is strive to be better every single day. So I asked the question again, what defines how we walk in this world? And what defines how we show up? What is your posture in life, right? This next season will require a different posture and how you conduct yourself in every area of your life. And I say these words not only to you, but I say these words to myself. In my next season, in order for me to expand and grow and take dominion and have great expansion in multiple markets, I have to shift my posture. I can't take my current posture mindset into 2024. It's just no way for me to hit the goals that I want to hit for next year, that I'm predicting for myself for next year. There's no way. So even myself, I'm taking the month of December to do an evaluation of CT. Where is CT at? What type of posture does CT have, right? And how do I need to shift and how do I need to change? When we think about manifesting our gifts and all the possibilities that we want to manifest in our life, what you want to manifest in 2024 will be tied to your posture. It will be tied to your posture. Posture is often defined as a particular way of dealing or considering something. It is often considered to be an approach. So when I looked up the definition of the word posture, these are some of the responses that I saw. It is an approach or it is an attitude to something. The definition of posture went on to talk about the posture in which someone holds their body when standing or sitting. That's in the physical, right? In the natural. When we think about posture, how are you walking into a room? How does your posture speak for you before you even open up your mouth and speak? What is your posture speaking? What is it saying? What is it signaling when you enter into a room? Right? So we have to be confident in who we are before we even get into that room, because once we walk into that room, our posture will speak of what we think of ourselves. Our posture will indicate just where we are mentally and how we feel about ourselves. And so if we know that we're trying to grow, we're trying to manifest, we're trying to build, sometimes we got to take that personal self-care, personal time for ourselves, reevaluate where we are. We reevaluate the gaps in our life. I have gaps that I'm filling through personal development. And I think a lot of times we can't shift our posture if we're not ready to recognize the gaps in our lives. You know, I'm evaluating myself and say, you know what, Captain, these are some gaps that you need to fill. These are some areas of personal development that you need to grow in so you can be better for 2024, so you can maximize your potential. This is the conversation I'm having with myself. How can I maximize my potential? So the definition of posture went on. I looked up some more definition. It says a state or a condition at a given time, especially with respect to capability, right? So what is your conditioning of your own mindset? What is the condition of your mindset? Your mindset has a posture as well. How you wake up in the morning, your morning routine has a posture. What is the posture of your morning routine? And does it need to shift at all? The definition of posture went on to say it is a conscious, mental, or outward behavioral attitude. I'm going to say that again. Posture is a conscious, mental, or outward behavioral attitude. Now listen, I think this is something we have to really reflect on. What is our mental mindset or our mental posture saying that's often shown in our behavior? That's often shown in how we interact and how we move and how we do. Whatever is going on in the mindset, whatever the posture of the mindset is, it will show up in our attitudes. It will show up in our behavior. It will show up in how we handle business. Right? You question, why is our business not growing by leaps and bounds? It starts with the mental posture. The definition went on to say posture is the way you position your body. And that I was talking about in the natural, but also it's how we conduct ourselves. When we talk about posturing our body, even in a business meeting, when we're conducting a meeting, are you conducting it in such of a way that you're totally confident in who you are and what you bring to the table? Sometimes that is what's going to make or break that deal, make or break you getting that contract. What is your posture when you go into that business meeting? Do you know what you know, and are you confident in what you know? Don't let anybody make you hold your head down in any business meeting. You look at that person eyeball to eyeball because you know who you are, you know what you possess, you know you have the goods, and you're bringing it to the table. Now it's just for that person to recognize that, right? And whether they recognize it or not, you don't hold your head down because you know what you bring to the table. There's a quote that I saw about posture, and it says posture is a leadership language, and that's by Jenna, and she wrote a book called Lead by Choice, Not by Checks. And I'm gonna say that quote again. It's called posture is a leadership language. What is your leadership language around your posture? Again, even as I'm speaking on this, these are areas that I'm evaluating of my own self. We should never get to a point in life that we have arrived, that we say we got it all together and there's no room for improvement. I know CT has a lot of areas for improvement that I'm going to constantly be working on because I want to better myself. I don't want to stay in the same place. I do not want to stay in the same place. There are certain synonyms that I found when it comes to the word posture. A synonym is a way of standing. It talks about position. Posture is talking about your pose, your attitude, your stance, your way of standing or your way of sitting, your attitude, your stance, the way you stand up, your point of view. I thought that was interesting. A synonym for posture is your point of view. What is your point of view as it relates to your business, your philosophies, your things that are personal to you, things, the way you reflect on the world, the way you look at things? What is your point of view? Because your point of view is often also going to shape your business. Sometimes we have challenges with growing the business because sometimes our point of view is so linear. We need to expand our point of view. We need to expand the way we see things. We need to expand. And sometimes we got to get outside of our backyard and really get into other areas that can help us expand our mindset, right? Next year, get out, travel, go somewhere, go somewhere you've never been. That's going to help expand your point of view so it can expand your business. When I looked at the word synonym, it also means opinion or your position on things, right? Way of thinking. So when we talk about posture, it's more than just the physical body. It's your way of thinking. It's your attitude, right? It went on to say some additional synonyms was your frame of mind, your outlook on things, your angle of things, and your perspective and your pose. So I'm going to go over these synonyms again. And I want you to, as I say it this next round, I want you to think about where you are in your life, where you are in your personal life, where you are in your business, and what you're doing. So again, some synonyms are, it means a way of standing. It means your position, your pose, your attitude, your stance, your way of standing, your way of sitting, your attitude, your stand, and your point of view, your opinion, your position, your way of thinking, your frame of mind, your outlook, your angle, your perspective, and your pose. What is your perspective on your own life? Sometimes we've adopted other people's perspective on our life, and we've allowed other people to project on us what they think and feel we should or should not be doing. And so we've adopted other people's perspective for our life, and we're disconnected with truly who we are and truly who we are ordained to become, right? What is your perspective on yourself? Not what others have said about you, but what is your perspective on yourself? Listen, this whole segment is talking about how we need to have a different posture. Even in the physical, when we walking in a room, how we sit down at the meeting, what is our posture saying? What is our posture speaking? What is your perspective on your own business, right? What are your goals for your business of 2024, right? Do you have a hunger and a thirst for growth and advancement? Or are we just going to say, you know what, this year was kind of mediocre, next year is going to be kind of mediocre, I really don't know what next year is going to be? We can predict what next year is going to be because we can create the action steps. Now, will things happen in life that will derail us, that will put a mountain in front of us and it just appears out of nowhere and like, okay, how am I going to deal with this mountain? Yes, that's life. That is life. But when we talk about having a different posture, that also means being flexible, being able to move around any hindrances, any hurdles, any challenges that come our way. Are you flexible? Is your posture flexible enough that when challenges come your way, you know how to be fluid and get around it? Another quote says, a strong, confident person can rule the room with knowledge, personal style, attitude, and great posture. I'm going to say that again. And the quote says, a strong, confident person can rule the room with knowledge, right? I don't care if you're walking into that room and you got 0 to your name, or you're not in the who's who circle, or you're not in, it doesn't matter. When you walk in that room, you bring your knowledge to the table. So knowledge, the knowledge that you have is going to be equivalent to your posture. So if your posture is shrinking, if your posture is kind of, slumped over, I say you need to increase your knowledge. YouTube University, you don't have money to go back to school, no problem. YouTube, go to the library, pick up a book. Your posture will change when your knowledge increases. I'm going to say that again. Your posture will change when your knowledge increases. Because when you sit down at the table, I don't care who got what versus over what you got. Because when you got the knowledge and you bring it to the table, you couple that with your personal style and your attitude of confidence and your posture where you're going to sit upright at that table, can nothing and nobody stop you. Can nothing and nobody stop you. And that was a quote by Cindy Ann Peterson. And it's another quote that she wrote that I found. And it said, proper posture sends a positive message. Since 90% of all communication occurs through body language and how you carry yourself. I think that is a huge statistic. 90% of all communication occurs through body language and how you carry yourself. So yeah, this topic of tonight of different posture is spot on. We're about to go into December 1st, this Friday, the last month of the year. What is your posture going to be like? How are you going to close out this year? What type of posture will you end this year with? Because the type of posture you end this year with is going to indicate what type of posture you go into in 2024. Personally myself, I've been working on my health and wellness, physical fitness and working on my physical posture, right? Health and wellness, we can't leave that out. When we talk about a posture, we also have to talk about what are we consuming in our body? Are we exercising, right? Are we keeping our natural body up to par? We don't want to be walking into a room out of breath. We don't want to be walking into a room not capable to deliver ourselves in the best possible way. Again, I'm not saying size yourself up to anybody and try to look like anybody. I'm talking about from a health and wellness perspective, right? When you're feeding your body the nutrients it needs, you're going to have the stamina when you walk in that room to deliver whatever message you need to deliver. Couple that with your knowledge of you feeding your mind more knowledge. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stand in your way.